All right, welcome to another time where I am breaking down in tears. And today, what I'm breaking down in tears is all the tracks from A Night at the Opera by Queen, their fourth studio album, and one released basically 50 years ago, November 28th, 1975. So, yeah, effectively, this video is a 50-year flashback. 50-year flashback. Yes, I am insane. And I'll prove that many times over in the course of the next little while. So I am going to be listening to, as I say, all 12 tracks and slotting each of them into my various categories, which you can see and I hope are nice and self-explanatory. We have the Gold Star JSB Certified Classic. We have Love It. We have Like It. We have For Me, which is a polite way of saying no. And then finally we have JSB, which is my initials, but also happens to stand for Just So Bad. Hopefully we won't find too many of those, but we might, because controversially, I'm not actually a massive fan of this album. So I'm going to use this as a means of revisiting, reevaluating, and seeing how I feel about it today. It's been about 5 years since I last heard it. I'm going to go in with open ears and open minds and rank things as I feel. And you, out there, are more than welcome to agree, disagree, or whatever, and let me know in the comments what those are, how much they are, and anything else you want to say, really, as long as it's within the realms of polite conversation. Nobody needs to slag anyone off because I can do that to myself all day long. Don't need your help. Before I kick off, I am going to be, as I say, listening to all these songs, and there might be a long version of this video up at some point where you can listen along to the whole darn thing with me. But the main video on YouTube here is just going to be my rankings with tops and tails, perhaps, of the songs themselves. So, with that said, time to kick off with our first track, written and sung by Freddie Mercury. It's Death on Two Legs, dedicated to ... All right, let's do it. All right. Well, we kick off in fine style. That has all the Queen hallmarks. Some great venomous lyrics from Freddie Mercury, the vocal harmonies, good solo from Brian, great drumming from Roger. Um, yeah, it's obviously about their former manager who ripped them off big time, and boy, are they letting people know about it. And it's also officially a JSB certified classic. So there we are. We're getting things off to a great start. However, that does mean that we have to move on to the second song on the album, which is only a minute long, thank God. And it is Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon. Not to be confused with Lazing on a Sunny Afternoon by the Small Faces, which I really, really wish it was. But hey, okay, here we go. Yeah, as I say, thank goodness it's short. Nice little solo from Brian at the end, but that can't save what is a pretty rubbish throwaway song. And what's it doing place second on an album? I mean, yeah. Anyway, if it was longer, it would be going in the JSB category. As it is only a minute long, um, I'm just going to have to say it's not for me. Okay, that takes us to uh, something very different. It's Roger's song on the album, written and sung by him. I'm in love with my car, which, of course, in the Bohemian Rhapsody film gets him a lot of shit, but you know, as with 99% of things in that film, most of that was bollocks, including my cameo. Yeah, if you've seen the film, you've seen me in it. That's all I'm going to say there. All right, let's do it. I'm in love with my car. All right. I'm in love with my car. Am I in love with that song? Pretty much, actually. Yeah. Great vocal from Roger on that. And it's just a fun, well put together song. So, you know what? I'm going to go love it to I'm in love with my car. And that takes us from one member with their only song on the album to another member with their only song on the album, Mr. John Deacon, who of course doesn't sing his, but that is handled by Mr. Freddie Mercury, and the song is one you might have known before today. Yes, honestly, you're my best friend. No, you really are. I haven't got many. Can you tell? Yeah. Anyway, let's hear it and see where we rate it. Right, there we are. You're my best friend is a great little pop nugget from Mr. Deacon. Obviously, a pretty big hit in its own right. Number 7 in the UK, 16 in the US, and as a result, was one of the first two songs from this album that I knew because it appeared, of course, on the Greatest Hits album, which we had first of all on cassette and then later on vinyl, which is what I really remember playing it on. I have a vague recollection that the track listing was slightly different on the cassette, but I've never been able to confirm or deny what might have been different. But it's not that it had Under Pressure on it, because I know some versions of Greatest Hits 1 have that. It wasn't that. What it was, I've no idea. Anyway, that's a diversion. This song, it's just great. It's a great pop song. Um, Everyone's at the top of the game. Great vocal from Freddie. I could tell you what the other members. I can say great drumming, but you know who that's from, so I don't need to say great drumming by Roger or great guitar from Brian because you know what they're playing. Obviously, it's actually John on the electric piano, and I'm always drawn, and certainly when I was a kid, I was always drawn to songs that have piano as a prime instrument. Being I was a piano player from a young age as well. Anyway, all that to say is that is going right up to the top. It's a JSB certified classic. Yes, it is. And now we move within the space of four songs. We've had songs from four different members of the band. So it's now time to get the fourth and final one, which is Mr. Brian May singing lead vocals on his own song, which is, of course, a pretty popular one amongst fans. And it's one he'd liked enough that he thought it should have been a single. Let's see if we agree. Here is 39. Right, 39. It's okay. I think I probably slightly underrate it, and others probably slightly overrate it. But I like the acoustic nature of it, and John Deacon's double bass playing on it's good. Um, it's a little bit. I mean, it is a space sea shanty basically. Really good lyrics though, um, and a decent vocal from Brian. He's not a bad singer. I mean, when you're in a band with Freddie Mercury, you're going to get overshadowed, aren't you? But he pulls it off well, and it's all right. Um, I can't give it more than a I like it nod, though. It's decent, but it's no classic for me. Um, yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, so that takes us to Sweet Lady, as you see below, another Brian May tune, which is more of a rocking one, and not one I really have any strong memories of. So let's see what I make of it today. Here we go. Sweet Lady. All right, there we are, Sweet Lady, another, as I say, Brian May tune. This one, of course, sung by Freddie Mercury. And it's a very different song from 39. I mean, this album in particular, but I mean, Queen in general are known for their variation and eclecticism. And that is generally a strength. Certainly it is here. The song itself, it rocks pretty well. It's a good fun song. Again, I can kind of see why this one hasn't stuck in my brain over the years. So I was fearing it was going to be one of those bad songs, but no, it's I like it, so it's going in the like it category. Um, yeah, that one's better than I thought. I mean, it's even edging up towards love it. If you caught me on a different mood on a different day, maybe it would go there. But today we're sticking with like it, which I dare say is not going to be the case for our final tune of side one. For those who are thinking in vinyl terms, Seaside Rendezvous. Now, funnily enough, this is the third Freddie Mercury song on side one. We opened, of course, with the great Death on Two Legs, and then we followed with the dreadful Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon. So where does this one fit? I think I know, but let's find out for sure. Here we go.
Seaside Rendezvous. Give us a kiss.
Okay, Seaside Rendezvous. I'm actually torn on that one. I thought that going into this might end up right down at the bottom. Um, it's quite clever. The bits where Freddie and Roger are doing all the different instruments with their voices is nifty. Little tap dancing with the cymbals is smart. The vocal melody though is quite annoying. The overall vibe is nah. It's kind of fun if you're in the right mood for it. Um, I don't know that I'm ever in the mood for that kind of fun. So yeah, I was actually, it doesn't sound like it, but I was actually toying with putting it in the like it category, but no, it's not for me. Which takes us to side two of the original vinyl, and we kick off with the longest song not only on the album but in Queen's entire catalogue, the Prophet Song. Some people would rank this as one of their absolute favourite Queen songs. It's the one I've been dreading the most. So let's see how that one fits for me today. Here we go. Right. Brian May's The Prophet Song. Wow. That's a game of three halves somehow, which is bad maths. Brian, as an astrophysicist, should know better. If we're basing it on the first 3.5 minutes and the last 2 minutes, this would be up for me in the love it category at least, if not certified classic. But that middle, now I know, now I know, now I know. I just hate it. I hate that section so much, and I can't excise it from the song, so it's always there, and it's always going to drag it down to the point where it kills the song for me. And sorry, folks, but yeah, the Prophet song, because of that 2 minute section in the middle, is not for me. I know, flame me all you like. Uh, all right, I'm not promising to like the next one much more than that, but let's get into it. This is, of course, another Freddie tune, and wasn't a single in most of the world, but it was in South America, I believe, where it was a bit of a hit. It is, of course, Love of My Life. Here we go. Quite a few seconds of silence at the end of Love of My Life, which is a decent song. Again, it's not one that is a wild favourite of mine, and this listen hasn't changed that. Whisper it, but it wouldn't be out of place on a Barry Manilow album. Um, Up to you whether that's a good or a bad thing. For me, no. Um, so I do like the harp and another piano-led tune, but even though this should be an emotional song, I don't connect with it on an emotional level. So I can't go any higher than like it. It's all right. It could be better. It could certainly be worse. But yeah, that's what I've got to say on that one. And that moves us to the final proper Brian May composition on the album, which is Good Company. Will it find itself in Good Company in one of the upper tiers on my list? Let's find out. Good Company. Well, they didn't keep Good Company because Freddie's nowhere to be seen on the song, and can you blame them? I can't. Um, if it was one of those songs like what was on side one with Freddie's songs, in fact, Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon, Seaside Rendezvous, I might be kinder to it, but it's 3.5 minutes long. That's too long for a proper song. It's kind of that musical style that the Beatles' occasional forays into that kind of playing is uh, similarly uh, thumbs down from me. So it's definitely not for me, but because it's just too long and not for me, I'm afraid, certify it just so bad. Sorry, Brian. I usually do really like Brian's songs, but yeah, not that one. No, no. Um, Hopefully, I like the next song. I mean, I can't put that down low, can I? Or can I? Let's find out, because it is that time. It's time for the Bo Rap, Bohemian Rhapsody, one of the most famous songs of all time. And is there a reason for that? Oh, there's many. Let's hear them now. Here we go.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Right, Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, what a song. It still is after all these years, and I've known this since probably close to 40 years now, and it still doesn't get old. That's why, of course, the fact that I don't listen to radio or anything like that. Any music I do is my own choice all the time. So this one doesn't crop up that often. And when it does, like just now, I can appreciate its brilliance. And it is brilliant. And it deserves all the acclaim it's had over the years. So, yeah, I mean, where am I rating it? There's really only one option, and it does deserve it. It's maybe not a song I'm going to turn to all the time myself, but it is a JSB certified classic. Thank goodness for that after a few duds and near misses. Back on track towards the end of the album. And what a strange position on any album, basically the last track ish, um, for such a big song. I mean, normally your big songs are always on side one, or maybe the opening track is side two. Very, very rarely do you get a big single buried towards the end of an album. But it's not the only 2 billion stream song to do that. I'm thinking of a little tune called Africa that's the same. Anyway, we're not in Kansas anymore, listening to Toto. We're finishing up Queen's Night at the Opera with a little instrumental arranged by Brian May of uh, what was our national anthem. Wow. I say that like I'm from these parts. I'm really not. But I am here now. Yeah, it's God Save the Queen. Um, just over a minute long. Odd way to finish an album? Or is it? Let's find out. And there we have it, the end of the album, God Save the Queen. And could you have just ended the album with Bohemian Rhapsody and gone out on a bang of a gong? Yeah, you could have. This is fine, you know. I don't have any strong views on it really because it's only a little coda to the album, but I'm going to pop it in the like it category because it's inoffensive, unlike Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon, for example, or indeed Brian's Own Good Company. All right, so I'm going to take these off now because I don't need to listen to anything else, and you don't have to listen to me for much longer either. Isn't that good news? Overall, that listen told me that I like this album slightly more than I thought I did. It's still not the classic of repute as far as these ears are concerned, but you know, most of the things I don't like are quite short throwaway things that they add to the flavour of the album. They're not really going to be the things you think about when you think of this album as a whole. Apart from the niggling point of the Prophet song, which if you can edit out that middle section and give me the 6 minutes either side, that would really, really improve that song for me, and therefore improve the album by a margin. But I can only rate things as they are presented, and that's how we've ended up. So, yeah, for an album that's supposed to be their best ever, this is not the great spread of tracks that you'd expect to see. But you know, it's all right. Are there other albums from this band? This band, I say, as though I've only just heard of them. I would potentially like more based on what you've seen and what horrendous mistruths and slanders I've committed against the band that is Queen today. Um, Maybe the earlier albums, I've never visited those beyond the hits, and yeah, maybe A Day at the Races. I like see quite a few Queen albums. I like the songs I know from them, but there's only one or two of them. Yeah. Anyhow, As I say, this is my ranking, but I'm sure it's not yours, so do let me know how you see these songs and the album as a whole. I'll be fascinated to hear it. And if you want to know which two songs that I listened to in 2025 because they reached number 25 in the UK charts from this band, well, you can do that probably one side of my head or the other. I'm joined by my friend Bostar on that, and we pick our favourite of those two. So have a look and a listen and find out what we thought of those particular songs. Otherwise, just click on that pretty purple logo to subscribe to the channel for all kinds of musical explorations of various kinds and hopeful interest. And I would just say thanks for watching and bye for now, but I hope not for long.
It's the end, but the moment has been prepared for.